We all are living in the fear of the COVID-19 pandemic. It has popularized words like quarantine, social distance, sanitize. It has also taught us that Bharatiya way of saying namaste was much more than just culture. Bharatiya lifestyle was socially responsible and way ahead of its time. Another great thing which this pandemic has done for us is that it has pushed the Earth Overshoot Day to a later date. Yes. So here I am wishing you all on 22nd of August 2020 a very, very, very shameful Earth Overshoot Day. Yes, we celebrate a lot of occasions, Happy Diwali, Merry Christmas, etc., etc. But hey, we aren't all that glory after all. The reality is that we have become so ignorant that we are destroying our own Mother Earth. And hence, we should be shameful about it. And along with that shame, we also need to understand and make up our mind to improve by being more considerate, more aware, more responsible. Not getting what I'm saying at all, right? Well, let me try to explain it further. So, Earth Overshoot Day, it occurs every year and the date varies every year depending on the account balance that we have. It's the date when us humans have used so many natural resources in this year that Earth doesn't have the capacity to renew. So it's like whatever biological resources that we are going to use post today until the end of this year are just the resources that we are borrowing. The resources that we don't have, but we're still robbing Mother Earth so our economy and our dependency on that can thrive. It's like using a credit card. Salary is over, but you still want to buy something. So you can use the credit card, swipe it, which is okay, but you can't keep doing it forever, right? If you continue to borrow so much, at some point your borrowing capacity will get over. And in this case, our natural resources are emptying up since 1970, so it's been 50 years already. So this Earth Overshoot Day has been calculated since December 1970 when we used up the yearly supply of resources on the 29th of December 1970. So the remaining 2 days of that year, we had to use up the borrowed biological resources, and just 3 years after that, we started using the resources so much that the date fell on 26th of November 1973. More than a month's gap was created in just 3 years. And since 1979, the dates have just been pushed earlier and earlier in the year as our consumerist society keeps growing. We keep on consuming the natural resources. And it changed up until this year, 2020, when the mighty COVID forced the world to shut down, the businesses to shut down, consumers to slow down. We stopped purchasing, which caused the manufacturers to stop producing, which in turn led to less usage of the biological resources like fossil fuels, minerals, metals, gas, water, land, trees, animals, etc. So, yes, the so-called most intelligent species on planet Earth is us, humans. But I guess this was a term before 1979, because since then we aren't acting that intelligent after all, otherwise we would have cared to reverse this. Since decades, environmental scientists have also been requesting us to pay attention and take a closer look at how we are treating our planet and other lives who we share this beautiful planet with. But unfortunately, it took us a pandemic to understand that the power lies in our choices. If we really want it bad enough, we can actually go back to the days when we did not have this earth overshoot days. Because of this pandemic lockdown, we delayed the overshoot day by 24 days. So 3 months of lockdown and business shutdown, and it's delayed for 24 days. So it's time that we understand that if we become more mindful in what and how much do we need, if we stop being greedy and start valuing what we have, if we really focus and understand that we need to preserve our natural resources for our coming generation, for them to live happily, then we will definitely make changes to our lifestyle and do our bit to reverse this negative cycle that we are trapped in. Nothing is impossible. Yes, we all can do our bit. Like, I have stopped buying new clothes for myself, and it's been almost 2 years now. I only wear what I already have, or something that is gifted to me, or something that I'm going to wear and give to somebody else. The people who gift me any clothes know that I will only accept those gifts if it's made ethically from natural fibers and doesn't contain chemical dyes. I do not accept synthetics and chemically treated clothes anymore, as they're the most polluting to our natural resources. Especially in the past 3 years, water scarcity have been so much more intense during the summer months in many Indian states and places all across the world. I believe in recycling my old clothes, so I still have the synthetic clothes, but I don't buy the new ones, because 20% of the pollution, water pollution, comes from the textile treatments. 200,000 tons of dyes go into our rivers and seas every year. Do you know that most of the raw materials used in industries are made in developing countries, and 90% of waste waters from those industries are discharged into our clean and beautiful rivers? So I have done my bit. I'm doing my bit by boycotting the industry from my life altogether. And I feel that the governments must design better policies for the industries to be more mindful of our limited natural resources. The reason why the raw materials are made in developing countries are because the governments don't have the policies in place, or they are not closely monitored laws, and the industries, they need to treat the water and make it harmless enough before discharging them into our rivers and the seas. Places like United States of America, Canada, Europe, they all have stricter environmental regulations around this type of factories, which makes it much more costlier to make those raw materials in those countries. So those companies, they have to set up the treatment plans to cure the damage that they would be causing the environment by producing those products. Hence, they offshore the whole process and they get it made in developing countries to keep their production cost low. Now, people like us who are living in the developing countries, when we think of progress, we majorly think of getting some export orders, and so that we could earn in a higher currency value like dollars. But what we don't understand, that it's actually destroying the quality of our lives and also putting our future generations at risk, as they won't have cleaner air to breathe, water to drink, or food to eat. Because these chemicals from these industries reach everywhere. Wherever the water flows, those chemicals go. In fact, recently the scientists have also confirmed that plastic and pesticides are found in the cells within our organs. So let's just stop fooling ourselves and face the reality, for God's sake. Make a resolution and stick to it. Do your part by being a conscious consumer instead of an impulsive shopaholic. I have chosen to give up on shopping for clothes, and that is just about the clothing industry, just a little part of the huge fashion industry. But there is much more that adds up to usage of our natural resources, many industries and many things that we do. So there are reverse things that we could do, like walk or cycle more and use less of motored vehicles, maybe eat less meat and consume locally grown and unprocessed foods. Switch off those electricals when they're not in use or they're not needed. Maybe you can encourage and follow the usage of renewable sources like sunlight, use the solar power. You can carry your shopping bags instead of bringing home a pile of polythene crap. Stop the usage of the one time use and throw disposable things like coffee cups and cutleries. Use more public transport instead of private vehicles. Plant more saplings. I think that's the trending one, but you need to take care of it and ensure that those saplings grow into trees. Uh, do your own research around what all you could do to support the planet instead of destroying it, and put it in the comment box below. Inspire all of us together. Let's just unite and revive our earth by designing habits and lifestyle that doesn't poison our planet. Because, honey, what goes around comes back around.